Okay, another little project. The wife's been bugging me for an herb garden for the longest time, and it just seemed like I'd never get it together or come up with something that would just work all year round. But I think I finally hit up on something that'll do real well. Um, this is an old wine crate. I got it way back from a liquor store. Was throwing out a bunch of boxes, and I saw this sitting there. It's kind of neat looking. It's 12, let's see, yeah, it's 12 by 19 by 7 inches deep. You don't need real deep soil for an herb box. And of course, I did my treatment with it. I did the linseed oil inside and out. I didn't stain it because I kind of like the look of the crate look. One thing I did do, I drilled holes in the bottom as usual. I put some screen down to kind of contain the soil, and I added some runners in at each end and one in the center, just to get it up off where it can drain easily. Basically, just where it can drain. And once I built it, put the runners on, drilled my holes, did all that, then I saturated it with the linseed oil and did two sessions of that over a couple days, so it's good and protected. It should last a long time. Okay, and then I just added soil and some fertilizer and whatnot, or excuse me, not soil, but this is potting mix. That drains easily and won't compact down. And right now there's actually, I planted, she wanted some shallots. So I planted some shallot bulbs, got them from Lowe's, and I planted some shallot bulbs in here. Once they sprout up a little bit, then we can add some herbs and things kind of up around them and in between. And this will be just a nice little herb garden. Of course, the shallots will take a long time to be, but you can use the cuttings from the shallots. You can cut the tops just like you would garlic or onions or whatever. But the actual shallots will take some time. But we'll have herbs around them kind of growing and whatnot. And I went a little step further. In order to make this thing sort of a year-round use growing container, I made a cage for it. I took a section from one of my tomato cages, and I put some screen around it. And I just used tie wraps, or zip ties, some people call them, and kind of threaded them through and tied it kind of round to where I have a nice protective screen. And it actually fits down in between. It takes a little bit of effort. And it sits down in between, right in the box there, kind of snug. So I have a nice protected area. You know, some of these plants, like the shallots, they do draw certain flies and things. And this will help. This will help a lot. And the additional benefit is I can drape that in plastic as well, so it could turn it into almost a greenhouse or a cold frame. So that was my little project. Of course, once again, everything here I had on hand. I had some pieces of screen, a piece from tomato cage, the box, and so on. I even had the zip ties laying around, so it didn't cost me anything to make this. So there we go, and I'll show some progress on this as things are going, and we can bring this inside in the winter. It's protected from the cats, and if that becomes a problem. And then what I will do, if I do bring it in the house, I'll just take a lid from a tote and set it underneath there to catch any runoff, any water and stuff like that, and try to keep it clean and nice looking. So we should have, or she should have, a nice herb garden going here all year round, essentially. We can just keep planting and succession planting and putting, you know, adding herbs and just kind of experimenting and having fun with it. And another benefit is that this actual top here, I can use it out in the garden as well if I need to. Say I have a couple of cabbages or something growing out there or whatever, and they're being attacked. I can throw this cage over them for a while, or maybe block out some of the intense summer heat for something like that. Those you know, things like cabbages, they don't like that intense summer heat anyway. So, but anyway, this cage could be used for other purposes. And of course, it's a good support for plastic to make a greenhouse or whatever. So that's another little project. Just want to show you guys. Not a whole lot to it. Looks nice. Looks decent. And just something fun to mess with year round. Thanks for watching.